The Bobbypoff situation just got a little bit more interesting because he just got unbanned and is currently playing on his original account. It's on the leaderboard for the second most wins in Warzone since Warzone 2, or at least the leaderboards have been tracking. So it makes this situation even crazier. And one of the main points that I make in this video, even though some people just take it the wrong way because they have their own bias, was essentially that if somebody is banned, they're guilty until proven innocent. Whether you think they're guilty of unlocked tooling, sharing their account, breaking TOS, using aimbot, it didn't really matter. That's not really what the point of the video was. It's just that logically, if someone is banned, they're guilty. And then in this particular case, logically, if they're unbanned, that would mean they're not guilty. So I keep that same logic through. I did talk about a few other points on there. People didn't realize that some content creators pay people to do their camos and level their guns while they stay on Warzone. Because in case you guys didn't know this, if you play every day Warzones from the launch of BO6 to the integration, on the first day of the integration, all your Black Ops 6 guns will be level 1. I don't know if you guys knew that, but playing Warzone will not in fact level your BO6 weapons until the integration and those weapons are added. There seemed to be a lot of confusion on that. People just didn't understand that, or intentionally didn't understand that. The other was something I had mentioned about the whitelist, which if you look back in my videos, I think I have a video on my channel somewhere like 3 or 4 years. There's a video where I talk about the whitelist stopping from reports. And then I also talked a little bit about how they set up the LAN events and specific custom matches with the whitelisting. And the other thing I said is if somebody was cheating, that they would get banned. Even if they did have the whitelist wouldn't matter. That's not going to protect someone from cheating on their account. And that still is the same thing I've said in this video. And people were like, why are you so silent about the whitelist? I was like, I've been talking about it for 4 years. What are you talking about? It's kind of a funny thing to read through comments because there's so much misinformation that I think it gets spread either amongst specific niche communities or Reddit or even the hacker hunters. And even amongst streamers, I think there's misconceptions that they spread. And that's because I don't think really anyone has all the answers. And I think if you're a reasonable person, you understand that. Sometimes things happen. He has been unbanned. And based off my original statement, that would imply he's no longer guilty, right? Pretty straightforward. And I think people understand that. There's some people that commented on the video that said this was level-headed, common sense take on the situation. And then there's other people who say, screw you, you're just trying to protect other cheaters. You're cheating too. You lack all integrity. And it's like, bro, if you even watch me for a little bit, don't be a fake fan. You know that I would never support cheating. You know that I would never defend cheating. I have not, will not, and it's just not the case. So it's kind of like a character assassination or whatever you want to call it. You know who I am? You know that's not the case. But this kind of calls into question. There's so many quote unquote hacker hunters that have made videos about this specific topic. And they've maybe done 7, 8, 10 videos. They're really milking it. Obviously, there's a financial gain to talking about Bobbypoff at the moment because the views are kind of down in general for Black Ops 6 until Black Ops 6 comes out. If he stayed banned, end of day, it doesn't really impact me. The fact that he's unbanned, end of day, it doesn't really impact me. And for the vast majority, like 99.9% of people, that is the case. There are people that will financially gain from it, whether it's the hacker hunters or even this video. I think the last video made like $400 just because people are spamming the hell out of the comments. Thank you, haters. You guys pay quite well. The only thing that was odd about the entire situation to me is normally if this situation would happen and should happen, a lot of people should just distance themselves from the individual. Even when, you know, he was still continuing to stream on alt accounts, there was a lot of different streamers that he's in his close circle with that play with him regularly. Just continued playing with him. And I know for me personally, that's not something I would do. Especially now it's fine because he got unbanned, so it doesn't really matter. So I think that's kind of an interesting thing where people will obviously support their friends because they don't think that the ban was just. Luckily in this case, it turned out that they were on the right side of it, right? They leaned in all that way. And then obviously the people that thought he was a shithead or garbage or cheating rat or whatever these, you know, people throw all these different hate at people, they ended up being wrong. And I already know for a fact that those people won't be apologizing to anyone, right? I think it was perfectly fine. Sit back and say, you know what? I want to see how all the facts lay out. And then hopefully we get some information. Turns out that was the right approach because that's ended up being what happened. I think most reasonable people get that. That's fine. I know that most people in the comments will still spam some stuff in the comments, even on this video. But I can't believe you're defending someone who got unbanned. Like, are you listening to yourself? But it is what it is, right? Like, end of day, it's just good content. I think it comes down, it ends up being fun. It sucked for Bobby for a few days, but he's doing better than he was before. So W for him, W for the hacker hunters. We were able to milk this for a couple weeks where they got 8 to 10 videos out. I'm sure the goalpost to move and be like Activision's in on it or some craziness. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, when it comes to Black Ops 6, I don't have high hopes for Ricochet, but I will hope at some point that Ricochet gets dialed in. I know some people are wholly against the intrusive anti-cheat, mainly people who want to protect their information, which is perfectly reasonable. I know people that know way more about that can kind of make, I just know that Valorant works really well. Beyond that, I don't know what to say, because every new game that comes out on PC is infested with cheaters. That doesn't really build a lot of trust within the community. Whatever little trust, it's generally the worst in COD. Not necessarily that the cheating's worse in COD than other games, because other games have tons of problems. And I don't think there's a solution. I think it's just something we're going to deal with. And as long as I've been making content, this is something we've gone accustomed to, where there's people that have grown distrust in streamers or Call of Duty. I think most people don't really trust Call of Duty or Activision to run a tight ship or whatever. And that's just kind of how it goes. I don't see those things changing. Even if Ricochet became bulletproof and it detected 99.9999% of cheating attempts, it would still not garner the trust. I think sometimes, just like with the many conspiracy theorists, sometimes people go too far into the deep end and they stop thinking reasonably because they've argued themselves in a position that it wouldn't be worth arguing themselves out of. And it's fine. They have to make it to that point. Just like people who think the earth is flat or whatever, it is what it is. Am I saying that nobody has ever cheated and zero streamers cheat? No, I don't think that's obviously not true. You can go to TikTok, see this random no name on a new account every single day, rage hacking. There's people that do unlock tools, those movement YY demons. They're using an unlock tool and getting a new account all the time. We've seen several instances of those types of things, and those people get called out, laughed at, and ostracized a lot of time from the community. And there's plenty of examples of that if that's what you're looking for. I don't think those get covered quite as often. They're obviously, since they don't have any name recognition, there'd be no reason for most hacker hunters to cover these accounts. There would be no point. And be like, Jordan 123, it just caught banned. People like, who the hell cares? That's kind of the general messaging. So I think most of them have, pure intentions in the beginning, and then it gets a slippery slope and they just kind of go down a path that's a little bit less honest about their content. And it gets pretty evident with some of their decision making, because when you're calling someone a 100% cheater, hacker, or whatever, you need to be 100% right. And there's been so many times that there's been debunked. So it's kind of like, well, maybe they didn't do enough research. I don't know. Goalposts will move end of day. So I guess he's innocent until proven guilty at this point. But we'll see how it goes. Appreciate all the support on the content. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.